So you just went and saw Rashomon. Would people be surprised that you're all cultured?
I don't know. It was technically a rape revenge movie, so I don't know. Is it cultured? Like, I mean, yeah, it was shot 74 years ago and it was done by Kurosawa, but like when you break it down, it's still a rape revenge story, which is basically 70% of your songs. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, Kurosawa to CHOOF, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, there's something there.
Hey, the album, I've listened to it 3 times since you've sent it to me. It is a fucking monster, dude.
Oh, dude, it wouldn't be hard to do. I think it clocks in at about 25 minutes. So you could
Yeah.
probably knock it out 3 times in an hour.
Me and Rashid found that out the hard way when we were driving home, which to get out of Brisbane City and back to our place is about half an hour. And we are like, oh, what have we got? Oh, the new Extortion. Sure, why not? And we chucked it on while we're driving and then realized that the entire album is 9 minutes long.
I was going to say, man, you fucked up by not immediately putting that on loop. Like, like new
We just kept
extortion is
going.
like if you've got 4.5 minutes there of new extortion, that's like two EPs. Yeah, so yeah,
How long have you been working on this thing?
look, all the songs started to come together after we did the EP, and the EP took a little while to come together as well. So it was just like all the ideas for lyrics, songs, riffs, drum bits, all of it. Like it's been cooking for ages, but we got in the studio with Jason Fuller January this year, and we I think we booked like 5, 6, 7 days or whatever. We came in, Squiz was there every single day, produced like a motherfucker. Like he was there before us, left after us. We knocked it out in half the amount of time or something that we were planning to, and since then I think maybe we were all just like, all right, it's done. We got it done. We did the shows. We played a couple of tracks off it, but now it's like it's ready to press. Like I think you're probably one of the first people we've actually sent it to outside of the immediate group of people. So it's like now it's coming back. It's like a fucking omen or a demon or something. It's like, oh fuck, I did that thing in January that like stressed us out for ages, and it's like now it's back, and we got to fucking justify what we did.
Are you
I don't know,
actually
7, 8 months ago.
Did you are you back to liking hearing it? Because I imagine I remember speaking to your guitarist. You're all named some variation of Jake or Jackson, so I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember.
Jack, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the guy playing the sixth string was like,
Jackson.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys played King Lear's back in the day, he was like, we talked about the EP, and he's like, yeah, I'm sick of hearing it. Like, I'll be, because obviously you've been working on it for so long. After a while, you're just like, I can't fucking listen to this thing ever again. Have you gotten back to being able to enjoy it now?
Oh, dude, 100%. And there's a few tracks that, like, I think the few that we worked on that, like, that for me, the dude's working out way quicker than me. Yeah. Like, I'm not a musician. I don't know shit. So it's like, I just got to show up and scream at the right time or whatever. And there was a few songs where I was like, what have you done? Like what am I working with here? This is fucking doesn't make any sense. Like grind is like a this happens, this happens, this happens. It's like you're doing some I don't know what's going on. And those few songs that I stressed on going into it, and now the songs that I'm listening back on and being like, I can't wait for people to hear this. Like I hope people just I feel like there's a heap of songs on the record that are for people to lose their shit to live. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And I feel like all our songs prior to that were maybe a little bit shorter and a bit more like they're for us. We're super greedy. Like I get this riff in real quick and get out of here. But I feel like there's some shit on there that I'm like I'm keen to hear it again. And yeah, no, it's cool. I'm stoked.
It's definitely, yeah, it's a serious evolution of your sound. Like you guys have really come into your own. Because we had the demo with MDK, then obviously Dimwitted, expanded on that more, and you had these standout tracks like Yogurt Cups is just fucking wild and had that insane video. But I feel like from what I've absorbed, it's early days from listening to the new stuff, but I feel like there's so many more ideas. I think you guys are a lot more confident, and I feel like, yeah, you've definitely enhanced more as songwriters, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I wish I could speak to that more, but like I'm just like I get to like see that sort of happen. And like I feel like with the writing process on this one, it was Jackson came in with heaps of really cool death metal, like really like riffs that you hear and you go like, oh man, that's a hook. Like they're like
Mm.
that like I know where that'll sit and da 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 da. And Adam sort of like fucking like a gumbo sat on it for a while, just like putting all the ingredients in, cooking up, and then just fuck man, just he came back through and I think once he learnt the songs on guitar and then he added all of his own tracks to it, it just kind of is. It's like you said, it's more confident. Like it's, I don't think it leans to either person or even Jack. Like Jack, there's songs where he came through and was like, "Man, I just have this bit on the drums, and I know that you guys are gonna have a riff for this."
Mm.
And I think like all of that shines through, and then I just get the luxury of just showing up afterwards and being like, "Oh man, how do I just like make this sound like hell or
Yeah.
fucking or just really Neanderthal the fuck out of it, you know?"
How am I going to ruin this?
Dude, straight up, yeah, yeah. Because again, like most of the guys, like there's not a whole lot when it's coming to the lyric stuff. It's like, hey, yeah, do whatever you want, and then it's like, oh, don't worry, I'll take something that you really love inside, and I'll make you really hate it.
Oh, I can see a pussy.
Yeah, yeah. There's a bit of pussy going on. What's going on, baby? Come say hi.
I'm sorry. Hello. What's your name?
Coopy,
Coopy.
Like Cooper, Twin Peaks.
Ah, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Mate, there are some surprising, well, for you anyway, surprising vocal techniques on here. There's some weird highs that you haven't used before. Um, and I feel
Got
like,
those weird piggies in there. There's some weird.
yeah,
I don't know what's going on there.
what in the name of Gutalax is that shit? Like,
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I think it was just like you spend it. Like I think confidence is what you're saying. Like you know what I mean. Like you're hearing people do like better and cooler shit with the like riffs and playing off each other, and you're just sort of watching all of this like chaos come together, and you're suddenly like, oh man, like just hitting it to the beats isn't enough. Like I don't know, like the weird piggy bit is. I think the moment where I realized we were doing something right was when we were recording with Fuller, and he's like, I don't know what he's doing vocally, but I've never recorded something like that before. I was like, I know what this means. He's like, I fucking hate this. So I just like do it again, but I'm like, yeah, done, cool, man, rock and roll. As long as he's never heard it before, then we're doing
yeah.
something right. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's that I feel like it's all over the shop.
I feel like if you can surprise the guy from Blood Duster, you're doing all right. You know what I mean?
That's sort of how I felt. Yeah, yeah. It's like if I can keep him on his toes, then yeah, yeah, rock and roll.
So, when is this thing coming out?
January, man. So I don't know how much I can say or whatever. Like I don't know. Maybe like fucking young. You'll probably never listen to this, so it's all right. But he's lined up everything for January. So
Yeah.
we have shot the music video. We're in the line for pressing with Zenith. We're just getting our last few visual assets together and stuff like that. But dude, I'm really, really, really hoping that outside of what we've got going on in November, that I am in Brisbane yelling directly at you with a record in my hand. So yeah, like yeah, mid to late January, man. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm still waiting for you to wrestle me, by the way. You...
Look, November.
Look at
I
that.
mean, we're 3.5 weeks out, dude. Your first leg of the tour, so yeah,
And it's my birthday.
Oh shit! And look, I've always been terrified because I'm like, is he just gonna go back to the base and be like, hey, fuck this guy up? But now that I know that you're leaving, like I can earnestly wrestle you, and the outcomes it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah, man, I'm 39. So my birthday is November 4th, and I think you guys are November 9th,
yeah,
something.
dude, it'd be
So,
it'd be around there, man. It's like a bee's dick. Yeah, like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
very close.
So man, that when I saw that lineup drop, I was just like, "Are you fucking for real? This is going to be mad." And at the Triffid too, like it's going to be an
I don't
interesting.
know the Truefit actually, man. Like we've rolled through Brisbane a few times. Like you know that we have a big love of Brisbane. I think like Brisbane. I think a lot of people go like, oh, Gold Coast, Sydney, or whatever. For us, it's like, nah, man. Brisbane is where people fucking lose their shit. Yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
really. I think it's a bit of a special place for children. I think they got the same attitude playing so close to the valley so often. You know what I mean? I think a bit of that like pulsating fucking evil madness like sort of like waves over. But yeah, where's the Triffid? Is that like a big joint in town or something? What are we in
Yeah.
for?
So the Triffid is near the valley, and it's literally an old airplane hangar. So
Oh, really?
if you
Cool.
look up
Fuck yeah.
photos of it, it's a completely curved roof. Like you can just imagine a biplane sitting in there back in the day.
Ah, cool, man. Cool. Yeah,
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 it is one of our best
yeah.
venues, though it does have a barrier. So in order to properly maul the audience, you're going to need to, of course, traverse said barrier. So
Well,
yes.
I don't know, man. Well, that's what I got you for. You're big as shit. It's like plan for you and transfer. It'll be fine, man. Like as long as you and I are there, it's no stress, no
Oh,
stress.
100%. It's as I've described it. I remember seeing you at the zoo, and that was when I came away. I think I wrote you guys were, I gave you the most dangerous band award because you were literally headbutting the floorboards a few meters away, and I was like 3 meters away, and I could feel it through my shoes, and I was just thinking, this is the first gig I've been to in a while where I'm genuinely afraid for my safety, not from the punters, but from the fucking psychopath on stage.
Good,
So,
good. Highest compliment a man could possibly be paid. As long as I keep the man who has been serving in the military for multiple consecutive years on their toes, Choof's done their fucking job. Yeah.
well, mate, CHOOF shows, as we've said, tend to be pretty full contact affairs for you. Have you been pretty lucky with injuries? Because I remember last time I saw you was at the Bearded Lady in West End, and I remember almost like kind of losing my temper with someone because when you were doing your traditional, crawl through the audience, some dude picked you up and like threw you headfirst into the concrete, and I remember finding that quite annoying, and almost got into a fight over it. How do you feel about it?
Man, it's so funny you bring that up because that whole tour, it wasn't like a blurry tour, but like I don't know, it's a few months back now. But I couldn't quite remember what that show was, but I remember so fucking distinctly going up and being like, am I getting crowd surfed? And then just being cave bombed to the ground and being like, oh, that's not what's happening. But to be perfectly honest, dude, you get what you give, yeah?
Yeah.
If you're going to crawl out there and bite someone's ankles because you've called them a cunt 20 minutes ago and they didn't respond well to it, and you've gone, and I've thought about it and gone, you're the motherfucker who I said come here, and you've stood there and gone, no, no. Well, when I crawl over and bite you in the fucking ankles, of course you're going to pick up and powerbomb me into the concrete. And that's when you just need to pick back up and just look at the cunt like, you're a wanker. Like, if this whole scenario meant so much to your fucking ego, then I don't know, do you win? I win? I don't know, man. Because at the end of the day, you went home remembering me get power bombed as shit, and we still finished that set, and no one remembers that fucking wanker. So I don't know, man. It's like I said, you get what you give, and I know that I'm a fucking asshole. So at the end of the day, it's just like I don't know, man. With a CHOOF show, dude. Todd Phillips has a film at the cinema right now, and it is Joker 2, the musical, right?
Mm-hmm.
That guy did the Gigi Allen documentary. Hated back in the day. That was his first ever fucking
that was
movie,
Todd
man.
Phillips.
Dude, Todd Phillips' first movie ever was the Hated documentary. And Gigi Allen, think whatever way you want. This isn't a comment on him, but it's a comment on what so many people say, fans or otherwise, in that thing. They say, well, if he was going to treat you this way or one way or another, you knew that you had your opportunity to have your own back. And that night, that guy was just like, fuck you, I'm going to get my own back. And so, like, it's just like, I'm sure it'll happen again. I just, Look, at the end of the day, man, we've never been banned from anywhere, so
Yeah.
it can't be that bad. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, give it time, give it time. Um,
Mm.
yeah, well, I mean, you bring up GG Allen, and all I can think of is, yeah, naked man hurling his own shit at people. So, I mean,
Everyone loves bringing up the shit, man, but I think that people forget the slightly more nuanced moments where, like, you know, he performed on a university campus, like in front of a university crowd, and you know, like that's already an intense crowd to get it up in front of, and he just put a banana up his ass for like 20 minutes and threw it at him.
and then
Like,
hurled
you know what I
it.
mean? Like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, who's hungry?
Yeah. And you know what? The dudes who are in the front row don't fuck off because they're so clearly like they were the five dudes who booked GG Allen. So they're sitting there like, oh no, like, but they're not leaving. You know what I mean? Like their camcorders are set up like, oh, this is immortalized, but they've just ruined everybody else's day. Oh no, that's it. Because that's you know what? CHOOF isn't about GG Allen or any of that, but it's that idea of like, man, if there is a bunch of people who enjoy it, fuck yeah. And if other people don't enjoy it, that's fine. But I don't know. You know what you're in for. Yeah.
With that said, what are some of the elements that make a good truth show? What are the elements that make a shit truth show?
With me drinking too much. And that's in both categories. Like, great show is, whoa, drank too much and he bit that guy's ankles. And it was it was amazing. Like, everyone remembers it. But then the other side, a really bad show is like, oh man, dude, you queued up all the wrong songs, and then you hit that dude and he wasn't into it, and just blah 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 blah. But honestly, man, it's always the crowd. It's always the crowd. Like we don't need like people don't need to mosh and all that shit. I think there's that like yo, you having a good night, you're moshing or whatever. It's like you don't need to do that. Just come here so I can see you. Like there's already all these fucking lights going on. We're all hammered. And like they were just a bunch of fucking people. Like I just want to see you. Like, what are we doing
Mm.
this for if I can't see you? And if you're disgusted by it and just confused, then that's fine. Like I'm spitting on you. Like you should have some reaction to it. But like when everyone's just like, oh nah, like, and it's just like I'm just up, like it's just like I don't know, like the blind leading the blind or something. I think that like yeah, it's a combination between audience participation and me being hammered. So, you know, make it out what you will.
Well,
There's 11 shows on this upcoming tour, so just like take a gamble and we'll see what happens for each one.
speaking of being able to see bands, I was just doing my laundry and I found my botch shirt.
Oh,
And
yeah, fucking oath.
they, back in the day, would have these halogen, like kind of hurricane lanterns set up on stage, but they weren't facing the band, they were facing the audience because they were like, we're sick of not being able to see people. So,
Yeah, man. It's
which would have been amazing for the crowd, would have been shit for photographers, but
Yeah, fucking oath, dude. It's funny, man. Like, you're not the only like old man to bring up botch to me. Do you know Mark from Devil Horn Zine? He's a sweetheart. He's in Knife and a few other bands, but he was the guy who was like, man, botch, like that same sort of thing. The band that I saw that sort of did a similar thing, but it was strobes out into the audience was Dragged into Sunlight at
Mhm.
Dark Mofo a few years ago, and it was one of those moments where like you realize that the band's full just assaulting the audience with lights and everything. You're just like, oh man, please just give me a moment.
Yeah, you're playing with WEEDEATER, ASTRODEATH, and some losers called King Parrot. What can we
uh,
expect from the show?
Dude, I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be a weird one. Like because it's a grind, doom grind, you know, like I think I think King Parrot will always have their crowd that comes out, and I think Chill fans are honestly too fucking broke. Like it's an international, it's an international co-headline. They're probably sitting at home going, "For fuck's sakes, couldn't you just like play the Duke for free on Sunday or something. So I don't know, man. The Chufters make it out. It's probably because they're King Parrot fans. But dude, the guys from AstroDeath fucking rip. Like they're like it's a great pairing for with WEEDEATER. And honestly, man, whether you're into grind or death metal or whatever, I couldn't understand not wanting to watch WEEDEATER play at the end of the day, man. It is like the last two times they came out, I saw them like as a fan. And it's just like it's just groovy. It's just
Mm.
so fucking groovy, man. And it's heavy and it's just got all those vibes, man. It's like I love, I adore, I hate God, man. And it's just you got all the nihilism and the sludge and stuff, but there's something about like WEEDEATER that's just too cool. And
Mm.
man, like I don't know, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see a bunch of like assholes spitting on each other and then like too cool for school bands. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, man. Weed meets the speed for fucking sure.
I love it. But I guess lastly, what was some of the, if I was to ask you what were the albums that changed your life, what would you, knowing obviously this is a really annoying question, you're going to be kicking yourself for thinking of ones afterwards and being like, God, I wish I said that. But what first comes to mind?
Oh, dude, man, anything that was a soundtrack to an Italian horror film, straight up, dude. Like soundtrack to Manhattan Baby, anything done by Fabio Frizzi, City of the Living Dead. Like I don't know, like I guess vocally, it's a bit different because I get all this shit from the boys. It's always like, ah, look, here's a song. Like, here's it. Like, they're really. Even Jackson at home will sit there and put together a song, and he'll write the bass, guitars, and he'll program a bit of drums and send it through. So I'm never listening to heavy music thinking like, oh man, like how can I apply this to Chuff? Because I'm just getting a track that's just completely, usually, slightly adjacent to anything else. But anything soundtrack wise, anything that makes me feel a bit weird and a bit like, oh, fucking
Mm.
like that's the shit that like I sit down at the end of the night and listen to, man. Like if we go into a chuff jam, that's what I'll come home and listen to because it's like I don't know, like it almost feels weird listening to heavy music a little bit, but like I don't know, vocally, Apartment 213 always. I just rip them off, but I'll just sneak that in at the end there.
Oh, mate, I am really, really looking forward to the show. It is going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic to see you guys again. So, yeah, man, thank you so much for your time.